addition to being a fine scholar, is a multi-sport athlete and a musician who, in addition to many awards, has that distinction that can never be taken from him of having played at Carnegie Hall. It's my pleasure to introduce and to present the first of the prizes we award today, named for our founding headmaster, the Emid Bruner Award for Academic Excellence, to our valedictorian, Perry Choi.
In the summer of 2006, I went to South Korea, enjoying myself before starting what would become my next 5 years here at York School. I boarded the plane a math and science geek who hated playing clarinet, had no idea about community service, and didn't know what he wanted to do with his life. 5 years later, this past April, I returned to my hometown a completely different person, a Yorkie. Appreciating all areas of education, loving music, considering philanthropy an essential part of me, but still having no idea what I want to do in my life. Sometimes the past isn't as far away as we perceive it to be. In fact, we often focus so much on the present and the future that we forget how we got here. Today is obviously a day for celebration. A day when we look forward to the many opportunities that await us in the near future. However, today is also a day when we must embrace the past. York School's class of 2011 represents a group of diverse talents. And together we will go down in the record books with our many accomplishments. As a class, nice weather we have here. As a class, we represent scholars of all areas of education, athletes, philanthropists, musicians, dancers, visual artists, Asians, whites, Middle Easterners, Pacific Islanders, international students, and an African American. Our talents are many, from horseback riding to computer programming to theater, and even dancing to K-pop videos. And yet we are just 54 students who will be great. No matter what happens in the future, we will have something to hold on to and be proud of. Yes, we did graduate from a challenging school where only brainiacs go, but there's something else. No matter what college we attend, top tier, Ivy League, notice how I separated two, liberal arts, conservatory, art school, or community college, we have made a step forward, and we should be proud of that accomplishment. In 17 of America's largest cities, the graduation rate has plummeted below 50%. And sadly, only 68% of these high school graduates go on to college. Our graduation today is a display of not only our dedication and diligence these past years, but also our will to take the initiative and make the difference. No matter what happens to us, even if we may not be able to achieve our current goals, we will always be able to look back to this day, for today symbolizes our success. Our success in making an effort for bettering ourselves and the world in which we live. Never forget what we have accomplished today, for it very much deserves applause and admiration. However, we must not take for granted or forget how we got to this pinnacle in our lives. So let us embrace the past. My mother has been teaching Korean at the Defense Language Institute ever since we moved here from Korea. So she's met many students in her teaching career. Once in a while, she would have a student who displays enormous potential, scoring well on tests, being attentive in class, and showing enthusiasm in discussions. She would ask these students why they didn't go to college, why they joined the military. They said that they got accepted to some amazing universities in the country, but that the financial burden was too much. Naturally, my mom and I thought that the parents were uncomfortable getting a loan or that the financial situation was just so extreme. But that was not the case. No. The parents would say to the student, "You're 18 now. It's your job to make the money. We can't support you." In other words, their parents would not support the student's academic potential and their goals. We are standing here today not just because of our perseverance and hard work, but also because of the efforts and support from our parents. So when you all leave here to enjoy a celebratory family dinner, be sure to thank your family, and especially your parents, for they truly have been invaluable in this journey. We can't give them all the credit, though. Unfortunately, there do exist extremely supportive parents whose children just can't seem to find the motivation to succeed and find their true potential. These qualities, motivation and inspiration, almost always stem from meeting someone who displays admirable traits, traits that we ourselves seek. And our teachers are no exception. They instruct with enthusiasm and a genuine desire to help us find an appreciation for their subject. As mentioned earlier, I came into York a math and science geek. I hated reading and absolutely freaked out when I saw I had to read 3 books that first summer in 8th grade. I'm just glad no one told me about AP US History, AP Lit. I might have quit right there. Anyways, I would soon find out that in 8th grade English, mediocre book reports would no longer cut it. My teachers pushed me harder than I had ever been pushed, and as a result, I stand before you all today someone who appreciates all areas of education. Now, don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean I love every subject. I can appreciate it. However, I find that this quality that our teachers have instilled in us will be invaluable as we discover ourselves these next 4 years in college. I think I speak for the entire class, and in fact the entire student body, when I say that our teachers have been integral in this York experience. However, just as influential are teachers outside of the classroom, such as music instructors and coaches, who deserve just as much praise. Our teachers have helped us become who we are today, so let us never take for granted the effort that they have invested in us. In addition to family and teachers, there exists a countless number of people we must thank, but unfortunately there's no time to acknowledge all of them. So to them, I give you my unconditional thanks, for we are truly grateful. Now there's one last part of our past that we must embrace today, my friends, and that is each other. In addition to the loving parents, passionate teachers, caring staff and supportive trustees, who should not go unmentioned for their many efforts for us, students, and the school. The York experience comprises of the students and the interactions among all of these groups. Above everything, we Yorkies value community, and our class has particularly upheld this concept so well. I owe so much to every single young woman and man sitting here before you. For all of them have taught me important lessons and made me feel accepted for who I am. Every one of them contributes to the diversity and the accomplishments that distinguish us as a class. And I'm extremely fortunate to have had the honor and the opportunity to know all of them. I stand here, though, very comforted because I know that their futures are very bright. When I returned to Korea this past April, I was happy as ever, being with my entire family for the first time in a decade, witnessing my uncle's wedding, and of course, finishing up some AP Lit reading, AP Biology homework, and taking an AP Psychology test online. I now looked at my hometown through a different lens, though. I was a different person. I asked new questions and had novel fascinations. Yet somehow, I still remembered so many of the streets and local people and felt right at home. A part of my past still remained within me. I realized that despite how long I had been away, I never really felt too far away from my Korean family and background. Despite the obvious changes that have occurred, my feelings of connectedness with my past have remained strong as ever. As a result, my doubts and worries about current connections and friendships dying away soon dissipated. It's fact that many of us will forget each other as we go on our separate paths. But it's equally true that although we will all change in the future, our bond will remain inseparable. No matter what happens, we will always be Yorkies. We will always be connected to a loving and accepting community. But most importantly, we will always be York School's class of 2011. So I ask you, my friends, as you go on from here to bigger and better things, making new connections and opening opportunities for your futures, never forget all the people who have helped you on this journey that we call life, and always embrace the past. Thank you.
Thank you, Perry. As Perry said so eloquently, and as our focus here on the students and on their remarkable relationships with the teachers reveal, these seniors have been inspired by this faculty that sits behind me. And so we give the senior class the opportunity to select a teacher to offer a few words of advice, encouragement, a charge to them as they go on to bigger, though perhaps not better, in fact, very definitely not better, things. And this class has wisely chosen someone who's taught them well, someone, alumni of the school, always cited as having prepared them well for college, setting the highest of expectations in a context of wit and wisdom. I'm proud of their selection and proud to have as a colleague Tom Murray.